Hi Yogi, it's Bri. In this short but very useful practice, I'm going to share with you some of my favorite yoga stretches. These are stretches that I do personally almost every single day, anywhere that I can. I'll do them with my kids around, I'll do them seated, anywhere that I can find space, and they just help my body feel balanced and good. If you're new to yoga and you know you're feeling extra tight, just make sure you have a blanket or one of these pillows here on your sofa might work as well, just to prop yourself up a bit. We're going to start in a seated position, just like I'm in. This is called Sukhasana, which is basically an easy seat. It's not so much crisscross applesauce where you bring your heels in, so I want you to bring your heels out, making more of a diamond shape with your legs. Right shin in front of the left. Sit tall and flex your feet. Take a deep breath in and sigh it out. Good. With your feet still flexed, inhale, lengthen the spine, reach the arms forward, and as you exhale, slowly fold over the legs. Now, if you're sitting there and you're like, I can't fold, your knees are hiked up really, really high, prop your seat up just a little bit and lean forward to your best ability. If you can't lean at all and you're feeling super rounded, just sit up tall and press the knees down. If you can lean, just forward fold all the way down. That might mean you come down onto your elbows or take your hands out in front of you. Swaying the torso from side to side is a really great way just to find some space in the side of the body, in the back of the body. Where you should feel this is around your hips. Find your breath. With each inhalation, see if you can target that area that needs a little bit of space. And with each exhalation, fold just a tad bit deeper. Remembering that your level of flexibility does not make you a better or worse yogi, that it is where you are is exactly where you need to be. Now the muscles along your back that line the spine, they're holding you up all day long. So this is one of my favorite ways just to give them some love. Still in the folded position, walk your hands over towards the left. So you're folding over your left knee. See if you can square your torso, lengthen the spine, ground down through your right hip and fold down over that leg. The more you take your right arm to the left, the deeper the stretch is going to be on that right side body or the muscles that line the spine on the right lower back. And if you're feeling like folding is not possible for you, you're more upright, you can still take a little bit of a twist, maybe even take your right hand to your left knee and your left fingertips behind you. Both effective. They might be a little bit different in the body, but you can work with what you got. And from here, take your left fingertips all the way out towards the left and reach your right arm up and over your ear. Now working a bit higher up the side body, maybe even into the muscles along the ribs, the muscles underneath the armpit. Keep your navel in to protect your lower back, lean over a little more. And if you're finding that you have a bit more flexibility, your left elbow can come down onto the mat. Take a deep breath in. Inhale, rise all the way up towards seated. Arms up. Exhale, hands come down to your heart. Great job. Now your whole right side is feeling nice and yummy. Let's balance it out. Cross your left shin in front of your right. Take a deep breath in. Sigh it out. Reach your arms up. Inhale. And exhale, fold down. Whatever you did on the other side, go towards it. Remember that each side is pretty different just based on which side of the body you tend to use more. You can sway from side to side, just feeling all of the muscles begin to release their tension. Keeping your feet flexed really allows for your knees to stay protected. And if it's available to you, you might fold down a little bit deeper. I didn't say it before, but your ujjayi breath, that yogic breathing, that slight restriction of the muscles at the back of your throat, that really helps to keep you focused, to keep you calm and present. And it really is what elevates your yoga practice from just stretching to yoga. Now let's balance it out. Walk your hands over towards the right. You might be in more of a seated twist if you did that on the other side. Or start to walk your left hand, your right hand over to the right to your best ability and fold over your right knee. Keeping a rooting action down through that left glute. Lengthen through the left side body. And then inhale, take your right hand all the way out towards the right. Reach your left arm up and over the ear. This is a really effective stretch for any of you who have tight shoulders, really finding space in that side body, the serratus anterior, the intercostal muscles, the lats. That really helps with any shoulder inflexibility. And then pushing down through the right hand, inhale, lift yourself back up to seated, bringing the palms to touch. Exhale, drawing your hands to your heart. Great job. So we've worked on the hips, the back of the body, the side of the upper body. Let's work on the hamstrings a little bit. Taking your right leg out in front of you towards the front of the mat, sole of the left foot to the right inner thigh. I really love this hamstring stretch because instead of taking both legs out in front of you, we're working one at a time, which gives those of us who have a really tight back body a bit more space. It's like a seated tree pose. Flex both of your feet. Inhale, lift your heart up high. And exhale, as you fold, draw your navel in. Now, the aim or the goal is to grab your right foot with both of your hands. I have really short legs, so that's pretty easy for me. If you can't reach it, you can grab your ankle, your calf, and just begin to pull so that the right thigh bone pulls back in towards the hip. Lengthen the crown of your head forward. Maybe if the flexibility is there, you can lower down onto the forearms. And just breathe here. What you're feeling here is length in your hamstrings, in your calves. These muscles are working all day long to help you walk around. The hamstrings work to bend your knee, so imagine how many times you bend your knee in one day. And this is also a great way to lengthen the muscles in the back of the body. Take a deep inhalation, lengthen just a little bit further. Exhale, fold a tad bit deeper. And then inhale, rising back up to seated. And just switching sides. Left foot goes forward, sole of the right foot to the left inner thigh. Flex both of your feet. Find length as you inhale. And as you exhale, fold to your best ability, just to where you feel like you feel enough sensation. You don't always have to fold to your deepest sensation or to where you can't breathe anymore. Just finding some length in the body. And in finding length in the body, you're likely to find a little more space in the mind. And if you have kids running around you, or maybe even kids practicing with you, know that these postures are rather accessible for a variety of ages, but they can also help you fold down. I love it when my kids sit on top of me or pull my arms. We don't always have the ability to carve out solo time for yoga, so the beauty about the home practice is that it could happen at any time of your day. One more breath, lengthen the spine. And inhale, lift all the way up to seated. Shake your legs out in front of you. Bring the soles of your feet together. This is called Baddha Konasana, or butterfly pose. Soles of the feet together, knees wide. Grab your ankles with your hands and sit tall. Now, we're not just pressing our knees down. As much as this is going to be a groin opener, it can also be a glute strengthener, because your glutes, your buttock muscles, is what helps you push the knees down to find length on the inside of the leg. So sit tall, squeeze your butt, and use that action to push the knees down. Then take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, fold forward. Not all of us need to fold forward to find a bit of sensation and stretch. So just to your best ability, you might not fold at all. If your knees are really high, you've propped your seat up and you're just practicing sitting up high and pressing the knees down with the strength of your hips. If you can fold, go ahead and fold to a point where you feel like you can stop and breathe. Couple of breaths here. One more breath. And then inhale, lift up to seated. One more floor stretch. Take your legs out wide. Doesn't mean you have to go out really, really wide. Even if it's just slightly wider than hips distance, that'll work. Flex your feet, root down through your outer hips. Take a deep inhalation. And exhale, fold forward to your best ability. Now, one of my favorite things to do, especially when I'm feeling really, really tight, is to prop my arms up. So if you have a bunch of pillows, you have a small stool at home, or maybe even turn towards the sofa, you could prop your elbows up on that sofa and use it to help you rest in the fold. Yeah, it's a beautiful thing about working out or practicing yoga at home is that you have the ability to get creative. Now, as you fold forward, you'll feel the inseams of the legs begin to open. Keep rooting back through the outer hips, flexing the feet so the toes face up. If you want to get it a little bit more into the back body, fold a bit deeper. Couple of breaths in this position. Now, hopefully you're going through this and you're starting to feel the benefit of all of these postures, and maybe even noting which ones you like for you. And that's how you start to develop your own practice at home or anywhere that you can. From here, walk yourself over towards your left leg. You can also hold on to the ankle if you can't reach the foot. Grab your left foot if possible. Pull forward and down. Fold over the leg. Do your best to keep that right hip rooted. Stretching into that right side body once again. Feeling the hamstrings open. Inhale back to center. Exhale over towards the right leg, just balancing it out. Maybe grabbing the ankle, the calf, pulling the forehead down. If you can reach the foot, pull with, or grab the foot and pull the crown of the head towards the toes. And then inhale, come on back to center. Prop yourself back up to seated. That's a pretty deep stretch. Grab your outer knees, pull in with your hands, turn forward and shake your legs out. Great job. Now from here, you're just going to take your legs underneath you and end up in downward facing dog. I know we don't always think of down dog as a stretch, but it's actually a really great pose for stretching. So your hands are shoulders distance. Drop your head. Walk your feet back just enough. If you're not sure how far, come into plank pose first. As long as your shoulders are over your wrists and the balls of the feet are underneath your heels when you press back up into down dog. That's a pretty good shape, a pretty good distance. If it's too far, step forward just a tad. Feet hips distance. Put a little bend in your knees. Lift the forearms forward but spread the shoulder blades wide. Lift the ribs and the navel and begin to push the hips up and back. Rise high under the balls of your feet as you inhale. As you exhale, right heel down, left knee bends. Just feeling the calf on the right side, maybe even the hamstring begin to lengthen. Come back to the balls of the feet. Straighten your left leg, heel rooting towards the earth, right knee bends. Then connecting with feeling that space you're creating through all of these stretches. And then inhale back up to the balls of the feet. Keep the ribs and navel in. Keep pushing through the hands so the hips lift up high. Both heels come towards the earth. They don't have to touch the ground. In fact, if they do touch the ground and you're more rounded, you should probably put a little bend in the knees and keep the heels slightly elevated. Now from here, walk your hands back towards your feet for one of my favorite stretches. Not only a stretch, but also a great way to bring your head below your heart, which really helps to increase the circulation of blood in your body. Grab a hold of opposite elbows, put a little bend in your knees, and just let the torso, the shoulders, the head hang down. You're probably feeling, especially if you're like me and you have tension in the backs of the legs and in the glutes, you're probably feeling all of that tension. Make sure your feet are still hips distance. Shift some weight slightly forward into the balls of the feet. Lift the ribs and the navel. And if you want to intensify the stretch, lift the hips up a little bit more as you press the crown of the head down. And if you're like, no, I'm feeling pretty good right here, right now, keep that bend in your knees and just begin to sway. releasing all of that unneeded tension. All right, take a deep breath in. Bring your fingertips on your shins or underneath your shoulders. Find a flat back. Put a little bend in the knees. Exhale, hands to your hips. And inhale, rise all the way up towards standing. Whew. Walk towards the front of your mat. Our last 2 stretches, and then we're done with our favorite home yummy stretch practice. These stretches are really, really great for both the hamstrings but also the hip flexors. So if you run or you cycle, the hip flexors or quadriceps are in the front there. This will be really nice for you. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, forward fold down. We're at the front of the mat now in that fold once again. Inhale to a flat back. Just step your left foot back. Step it and far enough back to where your right shin is in a nice straight line, that the ball of your left foot is underneath the heel, and then place your left knee down onto the ground. Your left hand comes underneath your left shoulder, and your right arm reaches up towards the sky. A little twist. Twisting is wonderfully detoxifying in the body. It also helps to reset the muscles around the spine. Now inhale, reach back with your right hand and lift your left foot up. Reach back, keep reaching, keep pulling that left heel towards the butt, and at some point you'll find the foot. If that doesn't happen, you can grab either a water bottle, a stack of books, anything to prop your left hand up. And if your left hand is propped up, I promise at some point when you reach back, you'll find that foot. It's worth it. Now first, push the foot into the hand and you'll get a nice shoulder opener. Lift the chest up. Keep the shoulder blades drawing down, and now pull your left heel in towards your glute. That's where you'll start to feel that, or stretch, I should say, the tension release in the front of that left thigh. Pull it into your best ability to where you can breathe into that stretch sensation. Take a deep breath in and exhale, release. Releasing that left foot down, untuck the toes, straighten your right leg for our final hamstring stretch. Flex your right foot, come onto the right heel. Inhale, lengthen the spine, the heart forward. Exhale, fold it down. Ardha Hanumanasana, or half splits. Each breath you exhale, you try to go a little bit deeper into the pose. If you keep flexing that right foot, lifting the right quadricep up, you'll protect that stretch of the right hamstring. And then inhale, bend back into that right knee. Take your fingertips forward, step your left foot forward, parallel to the right but hips distance, and then step your right foot back. Once again, making sure the left shin is in a nice straight line. The ball of the right foot's underneath the heel. Place your right knee down onto the ground. Your right hand either on the mat underneath the shoulder or maybe propped up. Reach your left arm up towards the sky. Like I said, twisting is so beneficial to the body, but I also like to think of twisting as a way to kind of detoxify my mind from things that aren't serving me. So you could think of that now. Inhale, reach your left hand back, lift your right foot up, point the toes, that'll help you find it. As you reach back, try to grab a hold of that right foot. Once again, if you need to prop yourself up, make sure you've done that. First, push your right foot into your left hand, lift your heart, open that left shoulder up, inhale, and exhale, pull your right heel in towards your right glute. For me, this is the side that I'm a little bit tighter on, so I might need to breathe a bit deeper, and know that if you have some asymmetry in your body, it just makes you human. Yeah? And that working through our yoga practice, we might find a little more balance. Pull it in just a little bit tighter, inhale, and exhale, release. Bring the sole of the right foot down, you're on the top of the foot. Straighten your left leg, come onto the left heel. Flex a foot, inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold down through center. It doesn't matter how far you fold as long as you feel enough stretch sensation, and making sure to support the stretch by engaging the muscles in front of it. So we're stretching the back of the left leg, calves, hamstrings. So we need to lift the kneecap, engage the quad, and fold a little bit deeper. And then inhale to a flat back, bend back into the left knee, step your right foot forward, and sit all the way down, and then lie down. My favorite reason to practice yoga, any yoga asana, is to come to this point. We did a bunch of stretches. It's about 20 minutes in. It's perfect timing to just dedicate some time to relaxing. So close your eyes, relax your entire body, and feel free to stay here in Shavasana as long as it serves you. Thank you so much for practicing with me. Namaste.